As this week's taut, nano-buttocked review has no doubt made you aware, Crysis 2 is a sleek technical thumper of a shooter. We're big fans, and to find out more about how the game was made, we spoke to Sten Hubler and Nathan Camarillo from the game's developer Crytek. Take it away, fellas.
You know, there's two things that were kind of new to us as Crytek. One was making a sequel. That was something we haven't done before. Usually we kind of just made new games. And then it was like, okay, you know, Crysis 2, how do we go about this? And the other one was going to consoles, because that was something as a PC, you know, coming from the PC development side, PC community side. That was something we had to get our head around. To be honest, like, we kind of knew already at the end of Crysis 1 that we needed to go to the consoles. You know, it was just, I mean, the industry at this moment already changed, and we knew that we, as a company, we couldn't neglect this much longer. But obviously that was like, you know, our first steps into that territory. So we had our code guys kind of starting at the end of Crysis 1, like right after, to kind of look into how we could transport our code, like the way we, you know, our technology basically onto the consoles, and what kind of features we wanted for Crysis 2. So how do we map the nanosuit on the controller, and how do we make the nanosuit available for the console, you know, experience? Because on Crysis 1 was a relatively complex or rich game with a lot of features, and there was a lot of keys on the keyboard that were used for it, and then it's like, oh, how do we use this? This is just too many keys. Can we put like more keys on the controller because we want to have more features? So obviously you can't do that, and it was a lot of iterations. The breakthrough was actually about halfway through the production that we suddenly kind of thought like, hey, maybe we should just go a bit from a different angle on it. And we had like a really cool meeting with the multiplayer guys, single player guys, Shepard, Nathan, so basically all the kind of creative leads in that area, and we sat down for like a whole afternoon, kind of really thought it through, and then we had this like really, like everything came together, and then that's kind of like how we have now the controller mapped.
You know, we have three main pillars of Crysis 2 that are really important to what makes Crysis 2 what it is, and that's the fact that it's set in New York. I mean, it's a great city. It's a great setting for a game, and then we have the nanosuit and all the nanosuit gameplay and the modules and the customization and the mobility of the nanosuit and stealth and armor gameplay. And then, you know, finally the last pillar of that is the choreographed sandbox, and this makes us different from all the kind of tired linear FPSs that are out there, in that we have the intensity of any of these linear FPS games, but we have this great handoff back and forth between these epic wow moments, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening in front of me in a game, and then, oh my god, I can't believe how intense this combat is, and it just goes back and forth, handing, you know, back and forth over the course of the single player campaign.
The thing is, because there's so many single components, and that they all came together, I think that's the biggest kind of reward, and that's what you as a team are most proud of, because it's, you know, everybody's contribution making it work on this grand scheme.
Thanks to Sten and Nathan. Crysis 2 is out now and is worth a look, even if it happens to be invisible at the time.